to hear from me. It's been a pleasure to be with you to share some reflections from both my own life and just my relationship with Jesus. And I'm just so grateful to have the opportunity to do this. And I want to close us off with going back to the beginning. If you remember, we talked about man's desire and his desire to live this adventure. And hopefully by the time that we've looked at desire, design, and destiny, we've seen that this adventure, as was said in the first video, is really this interior adventure. And if we look around in our society, we see that not many men engage in this adventure, the interior life, this relationship. When the Catechism calls prayer a battle, this battle to give our hearts over to Jesus, to be won over by the Lord, to be commissioned in his army to fight. And so we look at all over our society how we need men who are willing to stand up, men who are willing to step into the arena of the workplace, the arena of the home life, the arena of their own hearts. And stepping into this arena is something that captures beautifully the Christian life. And I want to read a quote from Theodore Roosevelt that kind of captures this idea of going into the arena. So it reads as such: "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat." I think this quote beautifully captures what it means to step into the arena of the Christian life as men. And particularly, we talked about being baptized. You know, our citizenship by being baptized is in heaven. We are citizens of heaven, and our time on earth is rented. We are renters on earth. And right now I'm in a graveyard, and you know, you look around in the graveyard, you see different kind of tombstones. And on the tombstones, there's normally the beginning and the end of someone's life. And there's a little dash right in the middle. And that dash means so much. It speaks to so much of that person's life. And you know, the way that we were created is the way that the Lord wants to save us. He loves our destiny more than we do. He calls us as his beloved sons, baptized into his very body, to be his hands and feet into the world. And so whenever I'm lost in life, brothers, I always go back to the man himself. I go back and see that he was taken, he was blessed, he was broken, and he was given out for the whole world. And so too we, brothers, as men, were called to be taken, to be blessed, to be broken, and to be given up for the whole world. We're called as his baptized royal priests to stand in the breach, to be the boundary between the secular and the sacred. He calls us to be the mediators of the meaning he wants to give to this world. It's a task that is great. It's a task that oftentimes leaves us feeling inadequate, like asking, do I really have what it takes? But just know that your commissioning comes from God the Father. You are always and forever his beloved son. That identity can never be taken from you. Nothing you do in this life will ever define you other than that you are his beloved son, called on mission to submit to his divine will. And to submit, the word submission is to be put under the mission. So we're put under the mission of God the Father to execute the rescue mission he began from the beginning of time, and he continues to this day. So brothers, take up that call to rescue. You are called to rescue. Be the hands and feet of Christ in the world. And whenever you're lost, just know that Jesus Christ is the answer to every human heart. And so, for the last time, brothers, this is Nick Ware signing off from